Well, long-lost footage of Marilyn Monroe was discovered a few years ago, and a very brief excerpt went viral when it was posted on the internet, proving interest in her career remains very high, more than 60 years after her death. The most iconic image of Marilyn Monroe is from the movie called The 7-Year Itch, and parts of it were shot right here in Manhattan. Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon is here now and picks up the story. Sandy.
Liz, this is a story of a granddaughter who discovered treasure belonging to her grandfather, Jules Schulbach. Treasure that was buried for decades in a grocery store bag. There, jumbled together with other stuff, were 3 minutes of footage shot one night in 1954. Home movies showing one of the most famous movie stars who ever lived. Hollywood came to Manhattan at a subway grate on Lexington Avenue for a movie called The 7-Year Itch, and the result was one of the most memorable scenes in movie history. But filming it was so chaotic, much of the action had to be reshot later, far from the madding crowd.
There were tons of people, mostly men, and they were all screaming at her.
Bonnie Siegler's grandfather was in that crowd shooting home movies of Marilyn Monroe.
You see her being herself.
The first shots are from the day before. Turns out the house used in the movie was directly across from Julius Schulman's home. A guy there told him about the night shoot.
People were on top of taxis, out windows, on roofs, just anything to get a glimpse of Marilyn.
Director Billy Wilder was concerned, but his leading lady had even bigger worries.
She was married to Joe DiMaggio at the time.
And, says journalist Helene Stupinski, he was there.
He wasn't thrilled about the scene that her dress was blowing up over her ears, and he was less thrilled about all the men screaming.
The ex-baseball player, known as the Yankee Clipper, flew into a rage and left.
And she looks really upset, and I think that's when he's leaving.
She looks like her heart just broke.
The couple was divorced a few months later, but the discovery of these long-lost home movies led in time to a book about the man who shot them.
The thing that kind of blew my mind more than the Marilyn footage was his story about escaping Nazi Germany.
And that story is in the book. Jules Schulbach led an interesting life, which is why the new book, titled The American Way, written by Helene and Bonnie, makes for such compelling reading. It begins with how he came to shoot the home movies of Marilyn Monroe, and then goes from there. It's in bookstores now, and I highly recommend it.